So, a woman with three kids, a mortgage business, and a job at a brokerage. What do I get asked more than anything else? I get asked about work life balance. What does that look like? And I'm going to be honest with you, work life balance is bullshit. It is chaos, and you just navigate it the best you can. Because the reality is, we all have a lot of balls we're juggling, right? So, you need to juggle your relationship with your spouse, your kids, your health, your mortgage business, your referral partners, just actually getting files done, right? You have all of these balls that you're juggling in the air. And what happens is that sometimes one gets dropped, right? And when one gets dropped, then we put a little more effort to get that one back up in the air. And then we keep going. Things that can make it a bit easier, asking for help is the big one, right? So being aware that you need to ask for help. Is that somebody to drive your kids to sports, which is what we do? Is it having your spouse stay home a couple days a week or go to work late so that you can start work at 6 a.m.? Is it getting help with groceries, house, meal prep, maybe getting a personal trainer so that your time in the gym is more effective? Whatever it is, making sure you ask for help, right? Getting help in your mortgage business, hiring admin help or hiring support is going to be very important. I do always say that one of the key things to be aware of is that you only have a finite amount of time. So, being very protective of your time is going to be really important. Blocking things that are important. I know that when I first started my mortgage career and things got really busy, especially during COVID, when we really had nowhere to be, so we didn't have to pay as much of an attention to a schedule, I found that work was bleeding into everything else. I wasn't having time to look after myself, connect with my spouse, spend more time with my kids, which was bonkers because we were all stuck in the same building together all the time. Because I didn't have to rely on a schedule as much, we didn't have places to be, it just kind of fell apart. And I do know that your mortgage business, your clients, your referral partners, like they will expand into whatever time you give them. So if you don't have block systems, things in place to make sure you're protecting your time, all of your time will go to them. And then you will see these other areas of your life suffer. And it's not to scare you, it's just to be realistic about what you need to do. So if you look in my calendar, there is a block every morning to make sure that I can have breakfast with my kids and get them out the door. There is a block at dinner time every day to make sure that we have that quality time as a family. There are blocks for going to the gym, right? There are blocks for time for me, time that I need, that if I don't look after myself and maintain a healthy lifestyle, that I won't be here to support all these other things that need to happen and need me to happen with them. It is really important that you look at your calendar and figure out what is most important to you and make sure that time is blocked. I also think it's a really great idea to be able to block focused work time, right? So 2 hours where you're just going to do calls, 2 hours where you're just going to work on your business, 2 hours where you're just going to do lead generation, 2 hours where you're going to finish a webinar, a marketing campaign, a drip campaign, whatever it is you're doing, right? If you block that time in your calendar, it will happen. If it sits on the to-do list, it may never happen because you don't have that focused time set aside to do it. If you don't have time set aside to do it, it's not important to you. I have always maintained the idea that money will come, right? If you're good at what you do, if you help people, if you put effort into it, money will come. I'm not as worried about what I spend on. And I mean, which is a crazy thing to say as people who do budgets for a living, right? But I don't care as much about the money as I care about the time. It is my time that is most valuable. So if there is someone I can hire to help me get somewhere faster, help something get done more efficiently, help something get guaranteed to get done, like picking up the groceries, I am hiring that person every time. For me, The key to having whatever work-life balance is supposed to be is really paying attention to your time and making sure that your time is meaningful and important and that you are focused on what you are doing. Our world is full of distractions, right? Even as I'm doing this right now, there's notifications coming up telling me things that I don't need to know right now. It is very important to protect your time and be focused on what you're doing and be present. Because if you are blocking time to have dinner with your family, but your phone's on the table and you're paying attention to those texts, that really doesn't even count. That isn't what your kids are going to see. That isn't what they're going to remember. Whereas if you're sitting there and your phone is in the pocket of your jacket and you're asking them about their day, asking them how things went, learning about whatever problem they had on the playground today, that is going to be more focused time and it's going to be really important. I read this book one time and it was called How Doctors Think, right? I came from healthcare. And one of the things that really stuck with me is about making sure the other person knows how present you are. There was a study of doctors and it found that if a doctor came into a room, asked you questions, and left, versus a doctor came in, sat on the bed beside you, asked you questions, and then left, the second group of clients were more likely to get a better diagnosis. Do you know why? Because they felt that that doctor cared more because they were sitting on the bed. They didn't do anything differently. They actually could spend less time, but they were more likely to get honest answers from the patients. They were more likely to build rapport faster. And as a result, they were getting better diagnoses for their health. This is a really important lesson for you to think about when you're thinking about the time you spend with your clients, the time you spend with your family, your spouse, your kids, your parents, all of that, right? Is making sure that you're very, very present in everything you're doing. And if you do that and you do it well, it will actually take less of your time because you can get more out of those 20 minutes than you could out of 1 hour of distracted time. Yeah, I'm not sure that I'm really helpful. I'm not sure that I really have all the answers when it comes to work-life balance because my life is chaos, just like yours. And the days that things fall apart, the days that the bus doesn't show up, and now I have to take 40 minutes out of my way to drive the kid to school and bring them back, and now I'm starting my meetings late. It's really irritating, but it's life. And we're real people, and the people that you deal with on a daily basis, be it your staff, your clients, your referral partners, like they will understand that you're a real person and they will appreciate when you show up to a meeting. And even though you're late, your day's been thrown off, if you are 100% focused on them and what you're doing at that point in time, the relationship will still grow, the trust will still be there, and the time that you spend will be valuable. So I encourage you to look at your calendar today, see what's blocked, see what's not blocked, and put more effort into blocking the time of the things that are most important for you.